Hello everyone, today, day in the life window cleaner, it's me and Matthew. The sun is out, it's going to be a really hot week according to the weather forecast, and it's going to get hotter as the week goes on. I've got the water in the van, in my cool box, all them good little tips, frequent sips of water, and we've got, I don't know if I said it before, but 19 cleans, and we're in Wisbech, so it's probably a day where I'm going to drive, run out of water, have to drive back and then get back to Wisbech to then carry on. So we'll see how we do. Money wise, it's not too bad, but even though I've got 19 cleans, it's not as much money as other days where we've got around that. So a lot of the cleans, some of them are small ones. So let's hope on the waterfront, with that in mind, we'll push through it. But who knows, as I'm behind on my schedule, the windows are dirty in what they normally are, so it's also costing us more water. But will we do it? Who knows? What's going to go wrong? There's always something. So if you're interested, follow along. This is the fifth clean of the day. I've got the Velux windows here, 3 of them at the back. It's a bungalow, but I do need a 35-foot pole in order to stand back so I can see what I'm cleaning to reach these. We're also cleaning identical property next door, and then literally a 20-metre walk, there's another property, another house that we clean there. So we've got 3 close to each other. It's nice when they're like this because you sort of get through your work quite quick. But because I'm using a 35-foot pole to reach the Velux windows, I'm using a 35-foot pole to clean these lower windows. So it's a bit overkill, but I need the 35-foot pole for the Velux windows next door, so it's pointless swapping out for a different pole. When you're cleaning these patio doors, when you clean the actual sill and the bottom frame of the door, you'll see in a little bit, there we go, I'm just turning the brush upside down, and I do this to get the bristles into all the gaps and to make sure I clean there. But when you've got a long pole, you stood back enough to actually see whether it's clean. When you've got a shorter pole, you're that much closer to the actual door, you can't actually see what you've cleaned, so you have to remember to stand back and have a look. Because you can bet if you didn't look, there'll be some stuff clinging on there, and your customers, when they're walking up to the door from a distance back, or when they're working in the garden, are going to see it all. So that's my top tip for getting under there anyway. For those that have watched my last couple of videos, you'll know that I'm behind schedule, and it's quite surprising. Within about a 3 or 4 month period, I'm almost 5 weeks behind. This is because I've had a week off with a bad back, doing gutter days instead of window cleaning, and the weather. But you can see the state of the windowsill for example, pretty grubby. Luckily the window isn't massively bad. I guess it's just where the house is situated. But it just goes to show, if you don't keep up with the schedules, your work is going to be harder, you're going to use much more water, it's going to take more time. So I've got to come up with a way of managing this. I get all these gutter clears, yep, I get them in the autumn, but it seems to be just as popular in the springtime because everything's growing in your garden. Well, it's also growing out the gutters. So I've got to find a better way of managing it. So I'm just going to have to suck it up and work Saturdays. So these gutter days happen alongside the window cleaning. It doesn't affect me customers that way, and it's just going to be extra money anyway. And I was just saying to the kids and that, you're just going to have to accept that this sort of time of year and in the autumn, I'm going to have to work Saturdays, but it won't be for a whole day. It'll just be 1 or 2 gutter clears as and when they come up during the week. So it'll probably just be a Saturday morning. It's a small price to pay to make the bank a bit better. But that's fingers crossed that it's going to happen anyway. That's the only thing I can think of going forward. It's never been this bad before, and I've got to stop the rot, as I mentioned in the last video. So I'm going to nip it in the bud early. As you can see in the video, the sun's out, so it turned out to be a lovely day. It's going to be a cracking week. It's going to get up to the highs of 30 degrees Celsius. So what you'll probably find is in the morning, you're going to try and go like the clappers, because you know when it gets around midday and throughout the afternoon, it's going to get really hot. And this is where you realise that you are outside in the sun more than what you actually realise. And if you're not careful, it's going to come back and bite you. So make sure you've got plenty of water. We've got a cool box I've brought from Asda in the van, and I've got all the cool packs in there. Keeps me water nice and cold. I try and take sips of water before the job and after the job, and it's really nice to have some cold water, I can tell you that. And also it keeps our packed lunch cold in there as well. So do you guys do anything like that? Put it in the comments below. If you do anything to make sure you've got nice cold water, I definitely would recommend a nice cool box. Like I say, it's only a cheapy one from Asda, but it does the job for us. In this sort of weather, you're going to find windows open quite a lot. Put them in the comments below. I just wondered how you kind of deal with these. I just tend to clean with the window open. Sometimes, if I can use my pole to push the window shut, that's what I'll do and I'll clean it. But the problem is, when you've got your expensive like high mod poles, the last thing you want to be doing is breaking the sections on your pole. So I just tend to leave them as they are most of the time. And because I use the X-Line 26cm brushes with an inline rinse bar, it's really easy to clean and rinse the window without squirting it all inside the house or the property for the person like. So that's what I tend to do. When the customers see you arrive, if they're in, they do tend to quickly come and shut the windows, which is what happened to the window to the right of the one I'm cleaning. This is clean number 12 of the day for me and Matthew. I'm at the front, obviously, so Matthew's around the back. It is terraced houses along here, but luckily we're cleaning one right on the end, so it makes life that little bit more easier. I'm glad I'm wearing my sunglasses in this weather. You do get a lot of glare off the windows and the glass from the sun, and it is really magnified when you've got a lot of water sheeting down the glass as well. And if you're cleaning a house where it's got white render on it, you'll be really surprised how it can reflect the sunlight and be enough to hurt your eyes. So sunglasses, they're a must in this sort of weather. We wear them all the time. And for me anyway, they are in actual fact glasses. They're just tinted to be like sunglasses for me. So I do rely on them. You'll be pleased to know that luckily today, anyway, for me and Matthew, we didn't actually run out of water and have to go home to fill up. We did use the spare water that I carry in the van, which is 8 25-litre barrels, so it's 200 litres of water. And we've had to pick them up and then decant them into the 500-litre tank so that we can keep working. That's what we did, but it saved us having to travel all the way home and then from home back out here to Wisbech. So that saved us an hour, which we were quite lucky with, really. And considering some of these windows, like I said, we are well overdue. So it is taking a little bit more work than normal. But some of the houses are surprising, as in they're not too bad. But I think that's just pure by luck and their location, really. But I'm not complaining. Almost to the last clean of the day. One more left to go after this one. This was all Matthew's idea for that sort of shot originally, so well done, Matthew. We're cleaning a bungalow here with a conservatory round the back. Absolutely brilliant customers. They used to live in a house in Wisbech and then they moved to a bungalow, and I also clean a lot of their family members. So they've all come about through recommendations amongst the family, and that's the best way to get your best customers, really, is through recommendations, and good customers make your life a lot more easier. That's it, back at home now. It's 4:45 in the afternoon, so an early finish. We would have finished earlier, but I've had a few chats with some of my customers today, especially the old timers, and I've been to Travis Perkin, got a trade account, so I've had to order something and realised they'll tell me when the order's in. I got notified after I'd done a clean, which was close by, and I swang in there and got some stuff. So that's kiln dry sand, or kiln sand, whatever you call it, for going over the patio that I cleaned over the weekend for our house. So happy days, good price as well. And yeah, we did the first clean today. I'm not sure if I've talked about it before in the voiceover, but she's 105 years old and she's lived in the same house since 1958, and there's stairs. So she comes down once when she comes down in the house, and she goes upstairs once when she goes to bed, which I totally understand, but that is absolutely amazing. And she's the eldest customer that I've ever had. Previously to that, it was Betty. She made it to 101. And I love giving a bit of time to these people and just see their face light up when you just have a nice chat, have a good conversation. And yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? So all in all, it's been a nice, relaxed, good day for me and Matthew, and a hot one. So a cool box is essential. That has come in really handy. So thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, really helps me out. And YouTube will stick a video up somewhere for you to watch next. Stay safe and have a good one. See you later.